Hello, everybody. My name is Heidi Plum, and I'm here to go over with you questions 13 through 15 on our quiz access this week. So let's go into this. I have question 13 pulled up for you, and everyone's information right here, our numbers are going to be different. So if this does not look right to you, don't freak out. Your numbers will be different, but the concepts are the same. One thing I like to do with these is first fill in the all the title headings just for organization purposes. So when you click on a box, you click down the down arrow, it'll give you options. So this is the income statement. So it's the month ending December 31st. And then you have your separate sections that you need to fill out. So I like to go ahead and do all that first, just because it makes it easy to fill everything else in. At the top of your income statement is always revenues. And then we've got our expenses. And they give you lots of choices. Okay, so revenues, if we go up, what counts as a revenue? Cash is not a revenue. It is accounted elsewhere. We'll see that on the balance sheet, but it is definitely not a revenue. Neither is accounts receivable. That's just keeping track of our revenues. So the only thing that I can see throughout all of this is really spelled out for you, consulting revenue. So I will go ahead and add that in. And it might not say revenue on there always. It might just be consulting or sales is another common one. So the consulting revenue is 15,620. And that is all the revenues I can see. So it brings up, it automatically populates total revenues for me and it adds everything together. Now, one thing that tripped me up with this kind of platform is that for everything that you need to fill in, you see these little flags right here. It looks like a little sideways V. It'll give you sometimes more flagged entry points than are available. So when I first did this, I was pulling out my hair because I thought, wait, I've listed all the expenses, or there isn't another revenue. I looked through all of these and nothing else makes sense. Why is there another option? I thought, what am I missing? Well, I'm not missing anything. It's just giving you options to put more down and getting correct. So I hope that helps you. Expenses. Okay. So we'll go for low hanging fruit first. Expenses, rent, salaries, telephone, miscellaneous. So you can also type it into, and it'll pull up everything that has those letters, which makes it nice. 4, 0. You can tab and it brings you to the next thing. And then once I hit find it, I can tab over and do the amount 7450. Tabbed over and telephone. It saves time typing in the first couple letters that you don't have to scroll down all the time. Miscellaneous. Hope everyone had a good Easter weekend. Okay, so it brings up, that's all the expenses I could see on here. Revenues up here, dividends, non-expense. Okay, we are done. And let's see. Oh, I thought I had this total. Okay, so if I take 15,620 minus 12,960, that would be 2,660. Oops, wrong box. Excuse me. And that is in the positive, so that would be net income. If it's negative for you, that would be a loss. Okay, and there we have it. Next, we've got our retained earnings. Okay, funny story. So I did all of our retained earnings, right? I did not do the heading first. And so when I went through and I said, okay, well, first you do the net income. And that for this one is, we got that on our statement before, right? That was, come on, 2,660. And then our dividends is 2,530 on mine. And again, it'll be different on yours. And then, okay, retained earnings, I could probably, oh, there it is. Okay, so it shows me the retained earnings, right? And so I checked my work, and every time I looked at it, it was wrong. And I couldn't figure out what. Yeah, I forgot to put the heading. I felt like such a dope. So make sure you check all your headings are done. That's why I do it first now. Also, just a note, if like on my example, it said that the company is a new company, and so they don't have any returned earnings for the previous year because it's new, or for the previous month, it's new. So if it's new and it's just starting out, that will always be zero, no matter how much they contribute at the beginning. because that was December 3rd, and we started the company on December 1st. So that would be 0. All right. Next is our balance sheet. This tricky one right here. It's for December 31st. It's not for a period. It's a balance sheet is always a point in time. So it's not going to be for the month of or for the year of. It's always a fixed point. So it'd be a date. Okay, let's label our sections assets. Then liabilities go on top, and then equities underneath that. And we know this will be total assets. This will be not assets and liabilities. It'll be liabilities and equity. And then this one will always be labeled total equity. Okay, funny thing also, I was on here and I was trying to find total liabilities, right? It didn't have it. And so I freaked out for a minute. And then I remembered, oh, going through this, there's only one liability. There's accounts payable. So my accounts payable is on this one. You might have another liability, but mine only had one. So there's no total. It just reflects the one thing that you have. So mine is 8,900. Okay. And so this one is blank because there's no other liabilities. Okay, going back to assets. So cash is 9750. And then accounts receivable, because payable is liabilities. Accounts receivable is 15,620. Office supplies. Oops, too far. And office equipment. 18,450. And the land is definitely an asset. Okay, there we go. 45,970. And then I have extra spaces for assets, but I don't see any other assets on here. All of them are kind of grouped together, which is really convenient. So we have all of our assets right here. Then accounts payable for liabilities. Then our stock dividends are together. So they made it really easy for us, and I appreciate that. Okay, cash dividends. Actually, no, we wouldn't do cash dividends because that's on our retained earnings. Okay, just kidding. So we have common stock. That's what we need. And that is 84,470. And then because the dividends are on our retained earnings, we've already got that information. So this would be retained earnings. And it's not up here because we did it in the previous section. And plug it in. So you see how all of these are leapfrogging together on the first one on the income statement. We had to figure out our net income, and then let me go back here. We had to figure out our net income before we could do itty bitty retained earnings because we add it right here, and then net income. Once we have a retained earnings of 130, we've got to plug it into the balance sheet. So it does have a flow of, and that's why you'll always see the net the income statement first, followed by retained earnings, followed by balance sheet, and then by the cash flow. So that is how you do this. And again, don't worry about the extra spaces. And to check your work on the balance sheet, it should 93.5, 93.5. It's in balance. Hey, thanks guys. I hope this helps and good luck this week.